Hey, Chase Briscoe, Wyatt Watson, Frontstretch.com. Coming into COTA, obviously, the new Repave. What are your thoughts going into this weekend with that going on?
Yeah, definitely anxious to get out there for sure and to see kind of how it is and what it drives like. Don't really have any idea what to expect. I tried calling Cole this morning just to see what he thought after Xfinity practice and qualifying, but he must have still been asleep. So hopefully he'll call me back before practice. But yeah, it sounded like it was definitely quicker. Looking at lap times from trucks and Xfinity, it was about a second pickup. So our cars, I would say, will probably pick up too. So yeah, this place is always kind of elbows up, and then it would always fall off really hard. And I don't think we'll probably see as much fall off just because a lot of the areas where the repave is kind of on corner exit. That's always where we struggle the most.
The new restart zone as well. Do you think that's going to mitigate some of the chaos we saw last year?
Yeah, I think it'll mitigate some of it. I don't think the first couple rows have really changed too much, but if you're probably sixth row on back, you're going to be like 3 seconds behind the leader by the time you get out of turn one, just because you're going to still be going through turn 20. So it'll for sure spread the field out way more than we've ever had before. But a lot of those wrecks I felt like typically happen from like 6th, 7th row on back, and guys kind of coming in there, and a lot of the time the wreck would happen in 15th place areas. So I would say you're still going to see a lot of 3, 4, 5 wide getting into there from the first couple rows, but after that I would say it's going to be a little more spread out. But you're still going to have guys trying to outbreak each other and everything else, which is kind of the nature of the beast here.
You get late race restarts here. What kind of mindset does that put you into, knowing it's coming, or how to choose your lane, where you want to be?
Yeah, I would say definitely towards the end of the race you kind of tend to be on that left side just because it just opens you up a lot when you're on the outside lane getting into one. So at the same time, if a lot of those guys choose the left side, you can kind of sneak up to the right side sometimes and they can cost some guys. But yeah, at the end, it's coming. Even we've seen here on lap one, it happens. So it's kind of just what it is here. You go into this super high speed straightaway into 180 corner, you're going to have big break zones and guys trying to outbreak each other, and it just kind of happens. But yeah, it's always interesting here for sure, and especially at the end of the races.
Calamity corner.
Yeah, for sure on that.
Necessarily, obviously there's others that are pretty exceptional at it, but I would, if we're going to go to another road course, I would just assume stay here. But if we're going to go to an oval, I would go to another oval. But I would also like to give up the oval to go back to the Charlotte Oval, because I feel like that's one of our best, mile and a half ovals that we go to. So I would say, this is a cool area to definitely come.
How do you anticipate the restart zone changing anything, if at all?
I think it'll change a little bit. I think the front 2 or 3 rows are going to be happy about it. I think they're going to be able to, get in there and not have their race dictated too much off of the restart. Now, I think it'll still be chaos, in the back, which, I thought we were a 15th place car last year. We had some issues on a couple of those restarts and got in the back. Got a flat tire, got a wheel knocked off, but then we restarted the 3 to go, green, white, checkered, and like 30th and finished 7th, just going around everybody and missing all the chaos. So I still think it'll be chaos at some point. Somebody's going to drive in way too far and way too shallow for the corner. So, but I think the leaders are going to be able to race it out normal. So I think it's a good move.
Along those same lines with the track limits through the S's, how do you balance charging that section and maximizing your time while also trying to not risk that pass-through penalty?
Yeah, it's tough. I think there's a lot of speed there if we just run it straight, obviously, and so yeah, we know exactly where our tires are, and we know exactly how far's too far. It's just kind of how much speed you're going to carry in there, and how much wheel you're able to put in the car to go back left and right at that certain speed. So I think you have to have track limits through there, and I think it's important. Everywhere else, there's maybe a couple other corners that you could have some track limits at, but really, I feel like everything else is pretty straightforward.
Thanks for that.
How do you feel the repave here at COTA is going to be, and the section repaves?
I talked to some people yesterday on track, and they felt like that it was, a little bit more grip in certain areas and then kind of seemed normal in some other areas. So I would say they must have done a good job with it. I thought it would have a lot more grip in the areas, but they said that it didn't really have that big of an effect. So, which is good. I mean, I think the old worn-out asphalt was really good here last year, and I felt like tire fall off and things like that was really important to the race. So I think all in all, I hope it continues to have tire wear, and you got to take care of your tires.
And then going back to stage cautions here, unlike last year, what are your thoughts going back into that?
I like the stage cautions, obviously, but if I was like leading the whole race, I guess it would be different. But I do like the stages. I think it creates some different strategies for people to pit before the cautions or not, and give people just different avenues to have a good finish or a good points day. So definitely things that we're looking at on our race team.
Thank you.
Not as much as you would have liked to have seen, more?
No, I think it's probably spot on. We've had some decent finishes, and I feel like we probably could have ran better at some places, and I feel like we probably ran too good at other places, right? Like just showing up at the class, I barely knew the guy's name, and we went out there, and I don't think any of us kind of really knew what we were doing at that point. So, again, it's just working forward and trying to be the best version of ourselves every week. I think, again, just changing the narrative is important, and I think slowly people are starting to see that we're serious, right? And that's the only reason I came over here, and Robbie Vinton and Tommy Baldwin, and they have a great group of guys over here. We're serious, right? I'm showing up to the racetrack to compete. I'm not showing up to the racetrack to ride around that.
How do you look at this weekend? Opportunity?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's this is
You
probably.
did have a good road course race with the guy with hitting Van Gisbergen last year.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the one road course race that it drives probably like a mile and a half more than anywhere else. I mean, it probably is a little bit more car dependent than maybe Chicago Street course or something like that. I mean, driver can still make a big difference, but you have to have your aero right and your setup right. So we spent a lot of time on the simulator this week and did some stuff with Brad this week, and I feel confident about it. We just have to see if the car reacts like the simulator and go from there.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
Justin, it was a good run for you at Bristol last week, obviously. Both Rick Ware Racing cars in the top 10. How much does that confidence does that give you guys in the garage and going into maybe other short tracks coming up?
I mean, it's good. We just have to keep working. It's I think it was short-lived, honestly. I mean, it's just a sport where you have to continually go out there, and last week really doesn't matter when it comes to this week, right? So, it was good to see. I feel like the confidence was high in the shop this week. I feel like we did a lot of good things right. We've been fast at the short tracks, which is refreshing for me. The past few years, the team I was with, we really struggled at the short tracks. So it's good to kind of be back in the short track swing and enjoy those. Just got to keep digging. There's always improvements to be made.
And stage cautions are returning here at COTA. Do you see that as an opportunity probably to help get stage points or play strategy?
It'll be traditional road course strategy. I mean, it'll be the fast cars will short pit the stage, and the guys running 15th to 20th won't, and that'll be what it is.
Thank you, Justin.
This is Austin Dillon, driver of the Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also check out one of those 2 videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.